What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? It's Sean here with S&S Serpentarium, chilling with my black house snake right now. Absolutely gorgeous little philognosis. Many of the people watching this video, if you're new to the channel, you probably wouldn't have seen or heard of these before. Really cool little snake. If you're new around here, guys, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification bell. It's awesome here. Daily videos, really engageful comment section. I always reply to the comments. Really interactive over here. Any video you want to see at the moment, because I'm a smaller channel, I've got the time to do it. So just make sure you comment down below what video you want to see, and I'll do my absolute best to do it. And that's more than what you can say for the big channels, because there's too many people commenting. So let's get straight into it then, guys. We're just gonna have a little chat about why royals have ruined the snake hobby. God, that got deep quick, didn't it? We've dived straight into the trenches on this one. Straight in. Right. Yeah, so, but they have. In all reality, they have. And that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but there's nothing we can do about it now. We've lost so many bloodlines and different snake species and stuff like that. Things that used to be commonplace before are now really difficult to find. And that is mainly because of the royal morph boom. And don't get me wrong, I love royals as much as the next guy, or ball pythons as we call them in the US. I love them as much as the next guy, alright? I'll never be without royals in my collection. But it's made it so difficult for me to find other snakes, like my Chinese beauty snakes, like these guys here. Like my rosy boas. Like my Damarels boas, because people don't keep them anymore. People don't work with them. Everyone's got a royal. Everyone's breeding royals instead, and that's just led to other things then just being thrown by the wayside, like variable kings and different snake species, and bards rat snake species. People don't see them anymore. You know what I mean? Bards rat snakes, Everglades rat snakes, black rat snakes, Texas rat snakes, Japanese rat snakes. They're all beautiful snakes, and you don't see them anymore. Very rarely do you see them. They're starting to make a bit of a comeback now. Like I saw a recent show. They had Arizona mountain king snakes there. They're quite expensive now. I've seen a local shop. They've got Arizona mountain king snakes there, and they're really expensive there as well. We've seen the price of Mexican black king snakes shoot through the roof, because all of a sudden people have, sort of remembered how cool they are. Whereas before they were a penny a dozen. And all of this sort of madness that's going on at the moment is because people have been overbreeding royals too long. And you might think, well, Sean, that's very hypocritical of you, because you breed royals. Yeah, but I do it for me. Do you understand? Like, I'm doing it because they're royal morphs that I do want still, and that's never going to change. I'll always have royals in my collection, and they're morphs that I want that I couldn't afford to just go out and buy. So I'm breeding them then with an end goal of stuff that I want for myself. And then anything that I don't want to keep for myself, I'll rehome to whoever wants them, and whoever can provide them a good home. And that's my end goal with them, really. It's not. Don't think for a second I hate royals. I don't. I'll never be without a royal ever again in my life, and that's the truth of it. I don't care if I'm 80. I'll never be without a royal again. Never. And that goes for more snakes in my collection. I could never see me living life without them, especially like the Damarels boas and stuff like that, unless I was like really weak and crippled. I shouldn't say crippled really, but like, you know what I mean, like frail. That's what I meant, frail. Unless I was really weak and frail, then I'd never be without the Damarels again. No way. And it's I feel like that for most of my snakes in my collection. There are some in my collection that I think, yeah, maybe okay, maybe maybe I would move on to a different kind of species, but that's not because I don't like them. It's because they've got very similar species. They're just a little bit different, but they're similar enough then to where I still get that same buzz of keeping them, if that makes any sense. So say say if you had Mexican black king snakes in your collection and you wanted to get a granite Mex instead, they're very similar structured snakes. They both come from the same area. So if that makes sense, like, do you know what I mean? And that's sort of where I'm coming from with that point of view. But I wouldn't be without them again, and it is a shame that we don't see a lot of these species anymore. Like most of you that are old subscribers to the channel, you'll know how much of a nightmare I had finding most of my snakes. And I had a nightmare, and a lot of that I put to the fault of royals and the royal morph boom. If it wasn't for the royal morph boom, a lot of these snakes I probably wouldn't have had much trouble finding. Like back in the 80s and 90s and whatever, the Dumbarels boas, they used to be really popular. You try finding one now, it's really difficult. And it is a shame. I wouldn't completely blame that particular downset on royal morphs. That's probably due a lot to boa morphs. But it's silly really, because there's no way the most boa morphs are that pretty. They're not. They're not. I've seen hypo boas and albino boas, and they're nice, but they're not Dumbarels boas nice. No way. No way, they don't even come close. They don't even come close. So, but each to their own, I suppose. And it's this morph madness that I am ultimately a part of, because there are morphs I still like. There are morphs that I'll always want to keep and stuff like that. But I think it's really important to have a little bit of variation in your collection. Even if you don't want to breed it and you've got no intention of breeding it, that's fine. But I'm sure there's more snakes that you like that are not royals, no matter what you keep. If you're a boa guy, I'm sure there are king snakes that you like. If you're a king snake guy, I'm sure there are boas you like. If we all just go rushing now to the next craze, like everyone's gonna rush now to sorry, can't think beer now. Mexican black king snake, that's the one. If everyone goes rushing to them, what's going to happen is other species are going to be hard to find. Just my point is, if everyone just kept and bred what they actually like rather than chasing crazes, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Do you see what I mean? There'd still be royal morph people about, but there'd also still be all of those king snake breeders about, all of those Dumbarels boas breeders about, all of those weird gecko breeders about. You know what I mean? All of those strange Russian sand boas breeders about. But we just don't see it anymore because everyone jumped onto the royal train, which is fine because hindsight is 2020. At the time, probably not many people realised that everyone was going to do it. But once it happened, it's too late then, isn't it? And then every newbie in the hobby and every new starter, the only information they can find is about royals or ball pythons, as you call them in the US. And they just think that is the way the hobby, the only thing in the hobby is royals. And then that sort of brings them, the new starters, into the hobby with the attitude of anything that isn't a royal doesn't matter a lot of the times. I'm not saying all of the times, don't get me wrong, I'm not. There are plenty of new people in the hobby that love milk snakes and whatever else. But, ultimately all of this is just going to carry on going if people are craze chasing all the time. It's pointless craze chasing, because there'll be another craze next week. Everyone's after garters at the moment, which is fine. I love garters, but I don't want to see in 10 years time all there be is garter snakes. You walk into a reptile show or a shop and all there is garter snakes and garter snake morphs. And then we're in exactly the same boat as we were with royals then. It's exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter which snake it is. If all we can scare is one snake, one species of snake, then it doesn't matter which species it is. We're in the exact same boat as this royal morph boom. Do you see what I'm getting at? But, you know, I hope, guys, no one's taking any of this personally. It's not aimed at anyone at all in particular. It's just something I feel really close to my heart. People do, they do chase trends and stuff like that, and it's just silly, really. It's just madness. Just keep what you want to keep. It doesn't matter who's keeping what. Just really think about what you want to keep and keep it. You know, and if someone tells you that's a rubbish animal, or this, that and the other, my animal's better, my animal's bigger, who cares? Just ignore them, just don't bother with them. Doesn't matter. As long as you like your snake, that's all that really counts, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it's part of a trend or not. Doesn't matter if other people think it's daft, because next week that'll probably be the craze, you know. So this hobby is quite cyclical. Everything seems to go round in cycles, you know, following the trends and stuff like that. So just don't be a part of it. Just don't join it. Simple as that. Keep what you want to keep. Don't keep what you don't want to keep, no matter if it's in a trend or not. And you'll always be happy in the hobby. And at the end of the day, if you breed what you want 1 year and no one buys it, fine, take 5 years off breeding, and then breed it, and then hold some back. So then if other people stop breeding a particular species, at least you'll always have them in your collection, no matter if they're not available in the hobby anymore. At least you'll always have them for yourself, because you've bred them and kept them back for yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I hope it's not being too ranty or anything like that. Please don't think I'm anti-royals. I'm not. I've got plenty of royals and ball python videos on the channel, so don't think that for a second. If you're new around here, as I said, please subscribe, smash the notifications icon, and if you've made it this far, you've obviously enjoyed the video, so drop us a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm, helps this video get promoted more and shown to more people, and it really helps grow the channel. So again, thanks for watching. You guys are the best, and I'll see you in the next one.